Hey guys, James here. This is my Bybit tutorial for beginners. Bybit is a low-cost crypto exchange that offers crypto futures trading, which basically means you can bet on prices going up and down. But Bybit also added a spot market recently, so you can actually buy and hodl your crypto as well. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to get set up on Bybit, how to deposit and withdraw, how to trade crypto on the platform, and we'll go through Bybit futures trading as well, which is actually not as complicated as it sounds. Timestamps for every section of the video are listed in the description for you. Let's come to the Bybit homepage then, and on Bybit you can trade in the spot market, so you can essentially trade actual cryptocurrencies and you can trade derivatives as well. They do have different pros and cons. We're going to go through both of these. And you can also buy crypto with fiat currency as well using some third-party providers. So we'll go through that as well. If you want to sign up for Bybit, they do have some offers when you sign up and some bonuses depending on which region that you live in. So definitely check that out. I'll leave the link below to Bybit if you want to go and sign up and follow along with this tutorial, or just get started trading cryptocurrency straight away. So once you have signed up and you've gone through linking up an email address, then what we'll do is actually come to our account and security first, just so we set things up properly. I would heavily suggest setting up two-factor authentication, so Google Authenticator on your phone, and that will set up an extra layer of security for you. Bybit doesn't require KYC information and identity information, but if you do give that over, then you can increase your daily withdrawal limits, as you can see. What we're going to do now though is go straight into buying crypto. So if you don't have any crypto yet that you want to deposit into Bybit, just click on this buy crypto button and then you can go through to the service providers on Bybit. You can actually deposit a few different cryptocurrencies, as you can see here. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, and US dollar Tether. This is essentially all that you need. So if you want to use Bybit to buy some other cryptos, then obviously US dollar Tether is a USD stablecoin. So it will track the US dollar on a one-for-one basis. You can then use this to go and trade for other cryptocurrencies. Or if you just want Bitcoin or Ethereum directly, you can do that here. So you can enter an amount that you want to purchase, for example, and it will give you a rough idea of how much crypto will be deposited into your account. Now, Bybit don't actually have this service themselves, so they use what's called service providers, and a lot of wallets do this. You will essentially go through to this third party. MoonPay is used by a lot of crypto wallets and other exchanges. And there are a couple of other providers as well, as you can see here going down the list. Simplex is also quite a big name. What you will see on the right hand side is this refreshing. So obviously those price quotes will refresh every 30 seconds or so. You can click on buy right here. It will actually take you through to MoonPay. What you'll have to do if you're a first-time user of MoonPay is create an account with MoonPay and set up your KYC verification. And after that transaction goes through, that will be deposited into your Bybit account within around 2 to 10 minutes, but it does depend on the provider. This is definitely not the cheapest way to buy cryptocurrency. When you're using a card like Visa or MasterCard, the fees are a little higher than, for example, a bank deposit. So just to keep that in mind, if you want to use Bybit or these other third-party providers to buy your crypto, rather than exchange that lets you deposit fiat directly into the exchange. This will also depend on where you live as well, because in the UK, it's increasingly difficult to actually deposit straight from a bank. So this may be your only option. Next, we're going to come on to depositing crypto from another exchange or a wallet. You can come up to your account and then come to your assets. It's really easy to deposit crypto into your account. You can choose whether to deposit crypto into your spot account, so that is your cash trading account essentially, or you want to deposit into your derivatives account. Either or, you can just come up here and press deposit, as you can see, and that will come up with your crypto address for Bybit. In this instance right here, you can see my Bitcoin address at Bybit. Here it is. If you have another wallet on a phone, you can simply scan the QR code, or you can copy the wallet address right here. So if you have some Bitcoin on a different exchange, for example, that you want to trade through Bybit, then you can deposit it here. So I'm going to do that now. I'm just going to very quickly copy the address in my Bybit, and I can come to withdraw at a different exchange, for example Binance. I can then go and search for the coin. So I've got some Bitcoin right here, and then all I have to do is just paste that address in, and you can see that the wallet address has been matched to a Bitcoin wallet address. That is of course my Bybit Bitcoin address. So if you went through with this transaction, you'd be sending Bitcoin from one wallet, wherever that may be, to your Bybit address, and you will be using a blockchain, so you'll have to pay those blockchain fees. You can also do this for Ethereum, US dollar Tether, EOS and XRP. They are the supported cryptocurrencies on Bybit right now. For USDT, a really good tip, I would definitely use TRC20 to transfer any US dollar Tether over to your Bybit. US dollar Tether is hosted on a few different blockchains. ERC20 is the Ethereum blockchain, and Ethereum fees are just a lot higher than Tron fees. Tron is TRC20. And as you can see, if I choose TRC20 right here, go and copy this address, and then, for example, from my Binance, I'm going to send over some US dollar Tether. And what I'm going to do is actually choose the Tron network. So I'm going to paste the address in right here, and it's found that my address is a TRX or a Tron address. And as you can see right here, this transaction is actually charged at $1 US to send that amount over, no matter how much you're sending. And on Ethereum, you might be paying $5 or $10 depending on what the fees are at the time. Once you do have cryptos on account though, you can also transfer them in between your accounts. So you can come to this option right here, transfer. You can transfer from a spot account into your derivatives account if you want to fund your derivatives account. Simply choose which coin that you want to transfer over and then the amount, press confirm, and that will do an internal transfer, so there won't be any fees. If you want to withdraw from Bybit, it's the exact opposite of depositing, of course. So you need to choose the coin that you want to withdraw and then the wallet address of your exchange or your decentralized wallet, whatever it may be. Copy that in here, choose the amount, make sure the blockchain is correct, and then just press submit. And Bybit will process withdrawals 3 times a day at these times, as you can see. So let's go through and trade some cryptocurrency then, and we're going to go into the spot market. A spot market is just simply the live cash market. So it's not any derivatives, it's not any futures or options. It is the normal everyday cash market where you pay with one currency and you get another currency deposited into your account. On the left-hand side, you can search for all the markets. So we've got some USDT pairs right now. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and EOS are the supported cryptos that we can go and buy. I'm sure over time, way more cryptos will be added, but spot trading on Bybit is fairly new. So if there are more cryptos, come up and search. But as I scroll to the right-hand side, we can see a fairly normal layout for a trading screen. So if you are a complete beginner, this may look quite complex, but everything is there for a reason. So on the top left, we have Bitcoin USDT. This is the market that we're currently looking at and that we're currently trading. So it tells us that we are buying the one on the left, which is BTC, and we're using the currency on the right to sell in order to buy BTC. So this is US dollar Tether, that US dollar stablecoin. This is the current quoted price in the market, as you can see right here, around 33,787. That just happens to match up right down here, 33,787. So this is the current mid price for this currency pair. You also have some other pricing information right here that you may want to use. And as we come down to the chart, this is a chart provided by TradingView, so that's good. Most top crypto exchanges will use TradingView charts. You have some different drawings right here and some indicators right here. I will not go through how to use indicators and a lot of the different trading strategies. I have a lot of those videos on the channel, so definitely check out that playlist if you want to know how to use indicators and different trading strategies. But we have a good chart right here that we can see, and on the bottom we have the traded volume, which is also nice to see. So you can see a candlestick chart right here, which is showing you price data in 4-hour increments. So each candlestick is 4 hours of time, and we can see on the right hand side the price right here, the current price 33,857. Further to the right hand side, we can see the order book right here. So we have these orders in red, and then we have these orders in green. So the orders in green are bids and the orders in red are offers. If you want to go ahead and buy some cryptocurrency, you can either join these other people trying to bid for Bitcoin at these prices, or if you want to buy straight away, you can actually just trade at some of these prices. These are obviously sellers right here. You can see that selling prices are always higher than bidding prices. If you want to buy straight away, then you will have to pay a slightly higher price as compared to just bidding a lower price and hoping that a seller comes and meets your price overall. This is a good time to go into the fees of Bybit as well, because they do change depending on what type of trader that you are. So we can see actually the spot trading fees if we come down right here. Bybit have something called a maker taker fee, which a lot of crypto exchanges do. So for right now, the maker rebate or the maker fees are actually 0%, so essentially free. I'm assuming this won't last forever. This is probably a promotion for right now, but essentially if you're a maker, what that means is that you make liquidity in the market. And how to make liquidity in the market, let's say we want to buy BTC. Well, we'll be putting a bid for BTC at this price or below. So we will be a bidder and we will make liquidity, and we will add liquidity onto the order book and show our order for everyone, telling everyone that we are a buyer of BTC and we're willing to pay a certain price. If you are a taker of liquidity, what you would actually do is come up here and take someone's order off the book. So let's say you're really wanting to buy BTC and you're happy to pay this price right here, because obviously this is someone's order right here that they're showing. You take their order and you are a taker of liquidity. So you're not making liquidity, you are taking liquidity. Takers do pay slightly higher fees on most crypto exchanges. You can see that the fee is 0.1% on Bybit right now. This is for the spot market and it will change for the derivatives market, so we'll get to that later. Let's come and put in a limit order though. So we can put in a limit order, which means we actually choose the price that we pay, and we can put in that maker order. So we can see the price right here, 33,854. So let's try and put a bid in for a little bit cheaper. So 33,827 like this. And how many Bitcoin do you want to buy? 0.05 like this, and it will work it out for you, the order value. So if you buy 0.05 of a Bitcoin at 33,827 per Bitcoin, that will work out as around 1,700 USDT. We will be a maker of liquidity because our price, 33,827, is definitely below the current mid price. So we'll come around this level right here and join these bids. If you have any US dollar Tether on account, you can just go through and press buy. That will confirm all of the order details for you, and then you can go and add your bid onto the system. What will happen is that your bid will be right down here. So this will be an active order and you'll be able to see the pair that you're trading, how many have been filled. You may have filled half of the order. Any filled orders that are completed will be in here filled for you, and then you can look at your order history as well. If you want to sell BTC, then obviously it's the exact opposite. So we can come over to sell BTC. Now what will happen is that we'll be selling BTC and we will actually be receiving US dollar Tether as well. So choose the price that you want to sell BTC at, how many you want to sell, click on sell, and that will go in for you. Again, if you have a higher price, then you will be a maker up here. And if you just want to sell straight away, then you'll be a taker of someone's bid. Bybit also allow for market orders. Market orders are always taker orders. So you cannot make a price, you cannot put anything on the order book. You will just simply choose how much, for example, you want to buy. So I want to buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, press buy BTC right here. It will go through straight away and take the best offer for you to buy that Bitcoin, and the opposite for selling. Conditional orders are sometimes called stop limit orders on other exchanges or other trading platforms. This is where you actually tell the system that you want to wait for a certain price before entering a limit order. There are various reasons why you'd want to do this, but let's say that I want to buy a breakout in Bitcoin. So I can see that the price is moving up, but I don't want to buy right now. I want to wait for a breakout and then enter a limit order. So what you can do is, let's say 34,000 like this. So I want to wait until the price of BTC reaches 34,000, and then I want to put in an order at, let's say, 34,000. So it's actually exactly the same price. You can either put in a limit order or a market order. Remember, market just goes straight through. A limit only trades at the price that we input. Why on earth would you want to do this? Well, if we put in a limit order, let's say at 34,000 right now, we would actually just go and trade straight away because the current price is way below that. Some people though don't want to trade right now and they want to wait for that breakout. Maybe if the price rises strongly, then they want to go and trade with that breakout. So they will only enter a limit order when the price reaches 34, and their order price will be 34. But you can change this to 33 if you want, like this, which means that when the price reaches 34, you're happy to buy at 33 or below because it's a limit order. Or you can put 35 like this, which means that when the price hits 34, the system will enter a limit order for you and you're happy to pay up to 35,000 USDT per Bitcoin. So that will definitely go through. If the price is 34, you'll enter that limit order. There are a lot of reasons why traders use stop orders or conditional orders, as Bybit call it, really because they only want to enter into an order when the price reaches a certain level, and you can use that as you want. Now let's get into trading derivatives on Bybit, and Bybit is the number 2 or 3 derivatives crypto exchange. So we can come up here to derivatives, and there are a few different options. You can have inverse perpetuals, USDT perpetuals, or inverse futures. And a lot of the differences here come from the time scale of the future. So either perpetual, meaning forever, so there's no expiry date for that future, or you have this one here where these actually do have an expiry date that you can trade. Most traders will use perpetuals. This just means that you can trade those futures and they won't expire. So really the choice is between a coin margined or a USDT margined future. That just means that the collateral that you have on accounts, if you want to deposit, let's say $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, and you want to use that as collateral to trade with and get margin from, then you can use coin margin futures. If you have US dollar tether as your collateral, you can use USDT margined, but essentially it's the same thing. So we're going to come right in here to coin margined, and we're going to be trading Bitcoin US dollar. So before we get started with this, if you are completely new to futures, then I do have some other videos on the channel that go through exactly what futures are, why people use them, why people trade them. But essentially, when you trade a future, you are not trading the underlying assets. So you will never have ownership of Bitcoin when you are trading Bitcoin futures. What futures allow us to do is just simply bet on the price of Bitcoin or Ethereum, and we can actually bet on the price going up and down. This is called buying or going long, so we're betting on the price going up, or if you want to bet on the price falling, you can sell or short. So you can do both of those things when you're trading futures. On the top left hand corner, we can come down and choose our market. So we're in inverse perpetual right now, and you can choose these 4 markets right here. USDT perpetuals, you can see you've actually got a few different markets. Bybit have added ADA trading, Doge trading as well, and a few others. We're just going to keep it simple with inverse perpetuals right here. Just choose the Bitcoin market. Something important to know when you're trading futures on any platform, and Bybit is no different, is what you can see here, the funding rate. Now, a funding rate is something that you have to pay when you go long a future. A future is a synthetic contract, and essentially what you're doing is borrowing money or leveraging a collateral that you have on account to go long. So what you can see right down here is that I do have some BTC on account, and that is used as collateral. And Bybit will actually give me more money to trade with than I have as collateral. So definitely a risk warning here. Trading on leverage is extremely risky, and definitely only get into it if you understand the risks. I cannot give you financial advice in any way, but definitely understand what futures are and the risks of leveraging as well. But essentially when you go long, you have to pay a funding rate or a fee, and you can see that funding rate right here. It's around 0.04%. This is only if you go long. If you want to go long Bitcoin, then you'll pay this funding rate to shorts. So yes, if you are a short, you actually get this funding rate. So if you short Bitcoin, you'll be getting paid 0.04% from longs for shorting, or essentially taking the other side of their bet. The funding rate changes around about every 8 hours, depending on which exchange that you're in. So we can see the countdown right here, and actually the predicted rate is falling slightly at the next change, although this may change between then and now. Next, we can come over to using leverage, and on Bybit, they do give you an insane amount of leverage. So me personally, I would never really try and use leverage. Cryptocurrencies are volatile enough as it is. Using leverage can definitely end up in quite a lot of trouble, but certainly make your own decisions on what you want to do. There's 2 different types of leverage. You have cross leverage and isolated leverage. Cross leverage, it essentially takes all of the available balances of your accounts and deploys them to meet maintenance margin requirements. So like I said, when you have $1,000 of Bitcoin on account, you may be able to trade positions worth $5,000 or $6,000. And essentially that value that you have on account is collateral against losses. So yep, you'll be lent some extra value, some extra cash to trade with, and the value that you have on account will fund your losses only. Again, do be sure just to not get in a pickle when you are trading with leverage if you want to trade that at all. Isolated margin, as you can see, is different. Essentially, you margin up each individual position, and margin is only applied to each individual position, and it won't take the entire amount of value that you have on account and essentially just fund every position all at once. Most people will go for cross margin to keep it simple, but with some trades you might want to use isolated margin. Just like the spot market, we can see the order book right here, so sellers up here and bidders right down here. Two prices you can see here. There is a current market price, and then there is what's known as a mark price. A mark price is something specific for futures, and it tells us that the mark price is derived by the index price and funding rate, and it reflects the fair market price. What's really important is that any liquidations or any trades that happen based potentially on any losses that you have will use the mark price and not the market price. The mark price is the official price that is used for futures funding and also any liquidations. Coming over to inputting orders, exactly like the spot market, you have your limit orders, you have your market orders, and you have your conditional orders as well, sometimes known as stop orders. So let's come and put in a limit order. Firstly, the order price. This is the price you're willing to trade at. So you can click right here and it will be put in right here. So what we're going to do is go long some Bitcoin. Now what I want to do is put in a bid. So I'm going to go 33,775 right here. That means that I am going to be a maker of liquidity because my price is under the current market price. So I won't be trading straight away. I'll come in around this level. How much do you want to trade? So this is where it's a little bit different. You can actually just put in the amount that you want to trade in US dollars. So let's say I want to trade 500 US dollars right here. It will give us the order value in Bitcoin. It's not that relevant though. What we want to do is trade 500 bucks. And let's say we want to make 10% profit. We know we're going to be making $50 on that trade. Of course, if it goes down 10%, we'll be losing $50. What's great about futures though is that you can actually input a buy long with what's called a TPSL, or a take profit and a stop loss. Before we get into that though, you're going to come down here and use post only. So post only is essentially a maker order. Like we know, there are maker and taker fees, and there are makers and takers of liquidity. Post only means it has to go onto the order book as a post only order, and that is a maker order. If it is executed immediately, so let's say you put in a price that is 33,763, something like that, and it actually goes through straight away, then obviously that is not a maker order. And so actually what will happen is the order will be cancelled. So this essentially keeps it as a maker order only. That means you'll be paying lower fees, usually anyway as a maker. Reduce only, you can click this if you don't want to increase any of your position sizes. So what that means is that when you buy long, let's say I buy long 500 bucks and a week later I'm actually up, I can actually just buy long again and add to my order. So increase my position size overall. Well, some people don't want to do that and they want to make sure that they're not increasing their position size. So you can click reduce only, and anything that adds to your position size will be cancelled. Anything that reduces your position size will be allowed to go through. This is a good time to talk about fees then on the derivative side on Bybit. So you can see them right here, inverse contracts. You'll be paying around 0.025% if you're a maker, and then 0.075% if you're a taker for trading derivatives. We can also see the highest leverage right here, 100x, 50x. This is an insane amount of leverage. Really would never ever trade with that amount of leverage. It is just crazy. Of course, I cannot give you financial advice. You have to make those decisions yourself, and you don't have to use the maximum amount of leverage, if any leverage at all. So then let's put in an order, and I'm going to choose to go long Bitcoin. I'm going to put in an order around 32,000. So I want to get some cheap Bitcoin. I want to trade around 500 US dollars worth, and I'm going to buy long with a take profit and a stop loss. So a take profit order is an order that goes into the system at a price above your entry price. That's if you're going long. So we're in at 32,000 and I want to take profit at 50,000. It even works out what our profit would be if we do actually go through with that order. Now, this obviously isn't guaranteed to go through. We'd be very lucky if we bought at 32 and sold at 50. It may take many months or even years, and you'll have to be paying that funding fee if you are going long for that time. So futures really are more for short-term trading, but our stop loss, this stops any losses. So let's say we are in at 32,000 and the price drops to around 29,000. Well, the system would sell out our position at a loss for us. So we'd buy in at 32, sell at 29, we make a loss, but the system would stop any further losses for us. So we have essentially a bracket order where we have a entry price in the middle, we have a take profit at a higher level and a stop loss at a lower level. What we can do now then is just input that order. So 32,000 is going to go in as a bid. We are below the current market price, so we wouldn't execute straight away, but we can press buy long right here and it comes up with this confirmation, the order price, the quantity, and the estimated liquidation price. So if the price falls to 10,000, then we would be completely liquidated and Bybit would sell out our position, but we actually have our own stop loss at 29, so that's not going to happen. You can click this box if you don't want this confirmation to show up. We're going to click confirm right here. And you can see that order has gone in successfully for us. So we have an active order right here. We have Bitcoin USD, our quantity, our order price, how many we've been filled. Obviously none out of 500 because our price is 32, which is way below the current market price. But we have a long right here, and then you can change your take profit and stop losses at any time. And if we do get filled, then that will be in our filled orders, of course. What you can do though, if you want to cancel that order, if it hasn't gone through, just press cancel. That'll be cancelled for you. To very quickly go through a short sale, so if you want to bet on the price going down, we can also do that. I'm going to go and enter an order of 35,000. Again, it's going to be way away from the book, so we're not going to trade, but I want to trade 500 USD worth of this futures contract. We're going to sell short like this. Now, because we're selling short and we're betting on the price going down, we actually make money if we buy back at a lower price. So if we're in at 35, our take profit must be lower than our entry price because we're actually selling or betting on the price going down. So we'll enter at 35 and we want to take profits, let's say at 20,000 like this, and a stop loss is going to be above our entry price because we're betting on the price going down. We're essentially selling short at 35. So our stop loss, let's say, is 37,000. This is obviously the complete opposite of a buy, but we can just go through, press that sell short, and that will come up in our active orders just like we had that buy order. Something that Bybit do give you as well is the calculator right here. So you can actually just see what you'd make if you went in with an order. So for example, if you want to go long, just press long, choose your leverage. Let's say you're using 2 times leverage. How much do you want to go? So we're just going to have a $500 order. Our entry price, 33,000, and our close price at 34,000. You can see the profit and loss right here for you. It tells you what percentage that you're actually making or losing, the amount of Bitcoin that you're going to get, and your return on investment. This is a great way to know exactly what you're trading and your potential profit and loss before going over and actually entering that limit order and going ahead and trading. If you want to know about trading futures, if you want some really great trading strategies that you can follow and to learn the basics of trading crypto, do check out those videos on the channel. Check out all of the information in the description as well that will help you even more. But that is trading on Bybit. If you want to go ahead and use Bybit, I will put the link at the top of the description. You can go through, sign up for an account and start trading straight away. Do subscribe for daily helpful crypto content, and I'll see you in the next one.